Good afternoon. Welcome to the 1:30 business meeting of the BOCC. Only had a couple items today, and one of them we have was informed that Human Resources has no issues or no items to present today. So I think we're on. We're going to talk about the opioid funds and the Cascade Pacific Alliance a little bit today with Mr. Berger. So I think we'll head into that.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
We can.
All right, thank you. So when last we were discussing this, the board had decided we had different possible approaches to the OAC, and the board decided they wanted to do what we're kind of colloquially calling the county autonomy approach, which is basically the counties reserve as much control and authority as possible. And in order to, I went back to the prosecutor group that's discussing this and sort of presented that, and we had some discussion, and the other counties seemed like they were on board with that. So we came up with a regional agreement that I sent to the commissioners. And that accomplishes it by essentially the contracts that we signed with the state say that there has to be one OAC. So we've structured the agreement so that there's one OAC, essentially a name only, with the functional responsibilities maintained by the counties. And the one sort of catch is that we can't be literally our own OAC. We have to have one other local government join us. So I think the idea that the other counties had would be that the cities that are within the county would join that county's OAC, because a lot of the other counties are wanting to do the same approach as Cowlitz. So I forwarded the regional agreement that I sent to the commissioners to Kelso and Longview. I did not receive any response. I gave them a deadline of so I sent this towards the end of April, I think like April 27th or so. And I gave them until yesterday at 4. I wanted to hear back any feedback so that I could present this, whatever their feedback is, to the board at this workshop, because I said we were going to be meeting today. I did not hear back from Kelso or Longview. I emailed Janine Parker and Jim McNamara. I did follow up. I kind of had an alternate idea that if it didn't look like the cities were going to work with us, to potentially work with Grays Harbor County, their chief civil, his name is John Beltran. He had indicated that they were possibly looking to partner with another county if they couldn't agree with their city, Aberdeen. And so I emailed John yesterday to ask where he was at. And he said that he hadn't heard back from Aberdeen. He met with one of his commissioners recently who was going to reach out to the city this week. And it sounds like Grays Harbor County Pacific County is also potentially interested in working with Grays Harbor County. So there was going to be a meeting between Grays Harbor and Pacific, and he wanted to know if I wanted to sit in on that meeting. And he said that so one of the things about the OAC is that it has to have just some basic reporting requirements to that. So if we're do the administrative functions of the Cowlitz County OAC, our Health and Human Services would basically do that reporting so that we can track how the money has been spent. And John Beltran said that from Grays Harbor's perspective, it sounds like they're flexible about if Cowlitz really wanted to do the administrative reporting, that they'd probably be willing for Cowlitz County to do that. If we wanted them to do it, they'd probably be willing to take on that work. So basically where we're at is I haven't heard back from Kelso and Longview. And if you would like me to meet with Grays Harbor and Pacific about potentially that option, I can do that. So that's my update. I don't know if you have questions or. Oh, you're muted.
Oh,
Oh.
am I coming through? Yeah.
You are now, yeah.
Okay. You know, I think it'd be best if we work with our cities, and hopefully they'll work that on. And we've talked with our Health and Human Services about it's just kind of an accounting thing they do, right? And I think they're open to doing that, and it obviously would work best with us and our two main cities. But I'm not opposed to, if for whatever reason they want to do something on their own, which is fine. That's their decisions to make. I'm not opposed to Aberdeen or Pacific, and I think Health and Human Services would probably still be willing to. We'd have to chat with them, but probably still be willing to do the numbers work and say where it's going and that type of stuff, so we can satisfy the act. Am I speaking for you, Gina? Or do you think you guys would be okay with that?
Yeah, no, you're not speaking for me. I think that sounds good. We're open to talking, with others about what this OAC would look like and work with each other on that. I do have, this was before David had sent out the agreement to the cities. Both the cities had reached out to me asking about the OAC. And I have a meeting on Thursday with both the city managers to talk about the OAC and what that could look like. So I have that coming up this week. And we also got reached out to just minutes ago from Pacific County asking about the OAC and if we'd be open to partnering with them on that. So we're certainly open to it and looking at what that would look like between cities and counties.
Yeah. So I think, David, that's probably kind of a long answer to, yeah, I think talking with him is probably worthwhile, unless I hear a different opinion. I think we're good at that.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I will just make one note. If we do end up taking on a little bit more work for helping out Pacific County, for example, and Grays Harbor, I believe we would be able to be paid for that, for the extra administrative costs. So I don't know how exactly that gets calculated, but I think that's factored into the contract documents that you're paid for the administrative duties. So
Yeah. So that would be go to Health and Human Services for their work. Yeah.
right. Okay, so I'll go ahead and tell John that I'm good to be in on that meeting, and then hopefully Gina will keep me in the loop on what's happening with the cities.
Okay.
Yeah. On item 9 of the contract, I had a question on that. How has that been resolved?
It hasn't been resolved yet, so I emailed the group about Commissioner Mortensen's concern with number 9. And my thinking was that I agree that from a legal perspective, I don't think it really does much. And I think it could be struck. So I asked. So the thing about the regional agreement is that everybody has to agree to it, all the local governments. So I made the pitch for that to be deleted. And I can send a follow-up email this afternoon saying, hey, did everyone get my email? What do you think? So I'll follow up on that, but to date, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I don't have any other questions other than I appreciate you working on that. It sounds like we're getting close to what, and the date, I know I asked you this the other day, the drop dead date is like the end of June.
Yeah, I can double check. Look through my emails. I didn't check. I think it's July 1st, but let's see if I have it in one of the, I think I had in one of the emails I sent out, but let me see. And if I can't find it while we're here, I will follow up with an email, but
When in doubt, I always ask Miss James and she has the answer.
Gina, do you know?
I don't, I was looking too. I know,
I found it. Sorry, the deadline to form the OAC is June 30th, so you were right.
June
Commissioner Dahl.
30th, okay.
So June 30th. So we do have time, but we're, I'm obviously the sooner the better, so.
Yeah, I don't, prefer not to do last minute. Boy, it sounds to me like the agreement you folks have worked on, that all the counties are pretty good with that. And now we're just kind of reaching out to the cities, and what do you think if they can become comfortable with that too? So way I see it, we've made some good progress and keeping it as local as we can, which I think we all counties and cities probably appreciate.
Yeah, I think a big help is I'm sensed the attitude of the other individual entities
Yeah,
are the same as ours.
yeah.
That's the
Okay.
impression I've gotten, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Gina. Well, we're making progress. Any miscellaneous?
Did you say Dennis would be done tomorrow?
Tomorrow is his last scheduled hearing day.
Okay, because if that question is who's going to attend the transit meeting?
I am. I'm taking it for him tomorrow.
Are you second on that?
I don't know if I'm not or not.
I thought I
Are you
was.
second?
I thought I was, but it doesn't. I'm.
Okay,
Please do. I'm happy either way.
okay. I knew he was tied up and he was worried about that. And said, well, and I didn't look up the thing. I just said, I don't mind doing it if you want.
Okay. If you haven't sat in on one before, this is probably an opportunity then. I'm happy to do that. Because I think I'm supposed to be the one, but I've sat under once before.
Okay, I'll sit in and educate myself.
Okay, I'll email you.
Commissioner Dahl is the second for the,
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. Undo everything I just said. The jury will
And-
disregard.
I do got the link. They did forward the link to me.
Okay, well, for some reason or other, I've gotten requests from the organization. Let me try and find it. You haven't gotten any emails from,
I have,
oh, you have?
yeah.
Okay, so I don't have to forward anything. I'm not going. Okay.
Yeah.
Easily done.
Good to go.
Good thing we asked. We would have both
Yes,
shown up.
yeah,
there.
we
I was
both.
like, okay.
Okay. I don't see any questions. I don't see chat, don't see hands. I think we're good. Okay, we'll go ahead and adjourn this afternoon meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.